Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 20, and we're going to be continuing on with our classic championship. It's round 9 with Kevin Schwantz on board the Suzuki. So starting from pole position is Wayne Gardner, Kaczynski, McWilliams head up the row 1, Biaggi, Rossi, Roberts Jr. on row 2, row 3, McCoy, Rainey, Abe, Schwantz, Lawson, Crivier in row 4, and finally McDowan at the back of the grid. So your two championship protagonists are in row 4. This could be interesting. So we await for the red lights to go out. And away we go! Kevin Schwantz starting from 10th place on the grid, fighting the Suzuki, trying to keep the front end down. John Kaczynski's there as well, Lawson's there as well, Alex Crivier. We have to finish ahead of Alex Crivier in this one. Going to be breaking around the outside of Norick Abe, the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix. Gary McCoy sits me up. Not ideal. Bit of argy-bargy there, everyone moving around. I've been now pushed down to 13th place. Kevin Schwantz will not be impressed with that one. As we get pushed forward now, can we get through? Oh, contact made there with Alex Crivier. Not ideal to start this Grand Prix. We went backwards rather than forwards. Contact made there with a couple of riders, and of course Alex Crivier has already been bumped into as he will have a look up on the inside of Abe and around the inside of Schwantz as well. There's another Kajiva trying to get through. Abe close to Rossi. Abe got a lot of speed out of that corner. He goes around the outside. Robertson, Rossi battering 2 into turn 5. As long as we're getting beside these guys, we should be able to use their slipstream and be able to go to the inside as Crivier makes me flick it. Oh my goodness. I feared the worst there between Crivier and Schwantz. Quick look to the right hand side to see where Crivier is. Rossi's going to get eaten up by both Crivier and Schwantz if he's not careful. The young man who finished on the podium in Brno. Oh, Crivier sliding around the corner with absolute style and pizzazz. Brilliant stuff from there from the Spanish rider. As Schwantz breaks in to the very tight left-hander. Crivier looks to have a lunge up on the inside. This is certainly not over between these two. There's a rivalry, but it's been relatively tame so far this season. The rivalry between Wayne Rainey and Kevin Schwantz has definitely taken the headlines for this season. Alex Crivier has just calmly gone about his business, winning Grand Prix, taking good podiums, as Schwantz bumps the outside of Alex Crivier's motorcycle there. Not ideal, but unfortunately mistakes were made. So this has been a very rough start so far. Kenny Roberts Jr. tries to get up the inside, and Kevin Schwantz now pushes the American wide. He's pushed him really wide, actually. Now... oh my goodness. Kevin Schwantz now pushed down to 9th place. The Kajiva now getting ahead of Kevin Schwantz. Not ideal. There's a little bit of a change of direction there as Lawson gets back over the inside. Oh my goodness, we're getting absolutely swamped. There's McDowan now. Oh, Rossi was close to the back of Kevin Schwantz there. Oh, Lord almighty, this race is hotted up extremely quick. McWilliams, Kaczynski, Biaggi, Abe, Crivier, Rainey, Gardner, Lawson, Robertson, Schwantz is your top 10 of this 7-lap Grand Prix. Now, can we fight back against Roberts? Can we fight back against Lawson? And even Gardner, who's further ahead. At least Alex Crivier is still in our sight. We do not want to lose sight of the man on the Repsol Honda, because bear in mind, we are leading this championship by just 5 points. That is not a lot. 5 points is finishing in 10th place. So bear that in mind throughout this Grand Prix, that we have to get ahead of Alex Crivier. I cannot stress that enough. As we make a lunge up on the inside of Eddie Lawson for turn 4. Careful touching the back of Wayne Gardner. Thankfully we didn't go anywhere near. I'm seeing a familiar threat up there as well in 6th place, and that is Wayne Rainey. Alex Crivier is ahead of him, and well, he'll be pretty comfortable with Wayne Rainey there. As ever lunges up onto the inside of Gardner now. Brilliant stuff. Liking that so far. A little bit wide there going into that corner, but thankfully no penalty is given when you go onto that particular part of the track. Now closing in on Wayne Rainey. Crivier is still there. Providing Crivier is not too far away, I don't mind battling for 5th and 6th place. If it's now moving forward and he gets onto the podium positions, we have to move with him. That is simple as. Wayne Rainey, I'm beginning to get nervous about facing him already, because every time he goes near me, he decides to whack old Kevin Schwantz for no reason whatsoever. Of course, last time out, as Crivier takes a big long look behind him to see where Schwantz is on the track, he'll see a familiar 34 not far behind. Of course, the number 1 of Wayne Rainey is what he sees first. As I'm trying to get over the inside, can we make a lunge here? Close, but close enough. Any closer than we would have been sitting on his lap. So good job we didn't actually go any more further for that move, as Roberts and Rossi are battling behind the Honda man and the Suzuki man. So Wayne Rainey, they've got a good drive there actually, much better than Kevin Schwantz did on board the Suzuki. As we hold it left for the final corner, turn 15. Rainey, he needs a good result. It's been a while for Wayne Rainey now. He crashed out in Motegi, of course, and he is no longer a championship threat. Don't think he's doing his best performance, but I tell you who is doing a wicked job, and that is Jeremy McWilliams into 1st place. He is leading the Malaysian Grand Prix on board that Aprilia, of course. with John Kaczynski just a little bit further behind, and Max Biaggi's in third. As you can see in the graphic on the left-hand side of your screen there, McWilliams is quite far ahead. You can even see him on track. And then, of course, Kaczynski, Biaggi, and Alex Crivier is there in 5th place. So we need to move a little bit and catch him up. Unfortunately, Arbe's in 4th. I believe I struggled to find out who that was. But Alex Crivier is getting closer and closer. Oh, we got extremely close there to Wayne Rainey. That was more than a sharp intake of breath. My entire body clenched. Oh my goodness, I thought Wayne Rainey was going to go down the road there with a ridiculous effort from Kevin Schwantz. Thank goodness we didn't hit him. The rivalry would just have exploded by that point. Fans and t-shirts and controllers would be thrown everywhere. So thank goodness that didn't actually occur, as Wayne Rainey is slowing down a little bit. He's losing the toe from Alex Crivier. So we need to get past Wayne Rainey now and chase down Alex Crivier, because that is not good for us. And he looks absolutely menacing there in 5th place. We're not so much. Rainey's not looking too hot either. He's definitely losing the front. Schwantz is doing what he can, but unfortunately for some reason I'm struggling here in Malaysia. It's a little bit like the Motegi situation. I feel like I've got a lot to give, but we just can't seem to give it. Can't seem to put it on paper. Just struggling. We've got it all in the mind, but we just can't put it to the test. As we have a little lunge up on the inside of Wayne Rainey. It's this difficult right-hander I'm struggling with. I'm going to have to make a lunge sooner or later. Oh, contact made there between the two rivals. A little bit of a slide there on Rainey. Oh, and Gardner's gone down. Oh, my goodness. His luck has just gone awful. That's the 3rd crash in as many races. As Schwantz now finally makes a move up on the inside of Wayne Rainey. Crivier, in turn, has got ahead of the number 4 man. Oh, my goodness. He's got ahead of Arbe, and Rainey fighting back. Wheeling out of the corner. McWilliams still leads with a fast lap of a 2:02.587. Williams, this is his to lose at this point. Kaczynski in 2nd. Biaggi, Crivier, Arbe, and Kevin Schwantz are your top 6 as it stands. Biaggi now up into 2nd place ahead of John Kaczynski. Alex Crivier has another look behind him to see where Kevin Schwantz is. He looks quite comfortable. Us, not so much. Arbe looks to be losing a toe a little bit to Crivier. Of course, he would have struggled on the back end after he got overtaken, but I'm sure he'll get back into the groove of the things, because we don't really want to be falling foul of the same thing. Getting into a fight, losing the toe, losing the will to fight. But of course, we have to play it sensible. There's no point in going absolutely gung-ho for a 6th position or 5th place when it's really looking difficult. Oh my goodness, I've just seen that Crivier is now ahead of John Kaczynski. We have to get on the podium here, ladies and gentlemen. If Alex Crivier is doing that well, we need to get through it as well. He's carving through him like knife in a butter. But we can't do that. We have to chase up here. Arbe ahead of us. We'll probably have a lunge up on the inside or go around the outside of it. We can't do that here. Potentially on the change of direction of the left-hander coming up shortly. After the 2 right-handers, of course. So turn 10. Not going to be having a lunge here, although it's tempting, but I don't think I could make it stick on these old 500cc machines. Maybe on the change of the direction here if we get a good exit. Go around the outside potentially. Oh, we get a bit of contact there, but we do end up going in on the outside. That's fine by me. Technically the inside, depending on your perspection of the track. As we, turn 14. Arbe was pushing me wide onto the rumble strip. Be very careful on that rumble strip. For some reason, it's absolutely, utterly lethal. You can look like it's going everything smooth and calm, but unfortunately, sometimes it'll just throw you off. So be careful of that one. Now braking into the final corner of turn 15. Crivier is now into 2nd place. Oh, that is just not what we needed. That is not what we needed. And he looks like he's going to check out. And I don't think he'll chase down Jeremy McWilliams. Look how far ahead McWilliams is now compared to Crivier, Biaggi, Kaczynski, Schwantz, Arbe, Rainey, Lawson and Doohan. This isn't that big of a gap. It's spread out somewhat, but not a lot, as Arbe goes a little bit wide there into turn 1. Hopefully we can dispatch of him sooner rather than later, as Rainey actually gets ahead of Arbe as well. He took advantage of Arbe going a little bit wide as Arbe fights back against the world champion. Of course, he will not be the world champion at the end of this one. That's going to be going to either Alex Crivier or Kevin Schwantz. And as far as the aces are concerned, since I'm controlling Kevin Schwantz, we'd rather be Kevin Schwantz taking the victory. Unless you're a big Alex Crivier fan, in that point, I guess you want him to win. No matter your loyalty to me or your support to the channel, you still want Crivier to win, and that's absolutely fine. But for us, we're gunning for Schwantz. I'm giving it everything we've got here to chase down John Kaczynski, and it's just not materialising as of yet. Close in here for the right-hander at turn 7. Brilliant corner if you can get it right. That is certainly not how you get it right. Basically cut half of that corner. Surprised we didn't get a slap on the wrist there, to be honest with you. I certainly felt like we should have had one. Oh, lunging with the inside of John Kaczynski. Completely messed that one up. Oh, John Kaczynski, that was a beautiful slide and a beautiful wheelie from Kaczynski, actually. Not ideal, that. Little bit out of shape there. Just lost the... I thought I could make that stick. And then I realised that if he then turned in... No, there's no way. We will end up crashing. So it's probably a good job that I took to the outside of the track there to avoid the contact. As Kaczynski will hold it right. Get into the slipstream of Kaczynski here, and we might be able to get past for turn 15. The 4th place finish on the cards here is not looking too bad. We would lose about 8 points, 7 points I think it is. So it's not the end of the world, but of course it's not ideal. We would lose probably 7 points to Alex Crivier, so ideally we need to fight back here. We are now ahead of Kaczynski for the very first time. We're up into 4th place as Jeremy McWilliams dominates here again with a 2:02.447. There's another fastest lap by the way of the Aprilia man. Good stuff for him. As we now hold it right for turn 1. Piaget, Crivier in our sights. There's a bit of a gap forming though. Crivier is probably losing Piaget at this point. Piaget's going to have to give everything he's got to try and remain on the podium. I don't know if we can catch him though. We'll see how things go and see how things progress in this lap. It's 1.8 seconds on this penultimate lap of this Malaysian Grand Prix. Brilliant race so far. My throat's beginning to hurt. I've gone wide. My mind's beginning to hurt as well because I've gone wide for turn 4. Cutting the corner, trying to get back on. Rainey's behind us. Kaczynski's there as well. Oh, I really, really hope that Rainey doesn't decide to do any would-be lunges and just absolutely take me out. I really don't fancy that right now because the tensions are sky high in this championship. 2% of fuel left. Do we use it? It's a difficult one. 2.1 seconds, so we didn't lose that much time actually to Piaget. We lost about 0.3 of a second, which is not too bad. I expect us to lose at least a good half a second or potentially even a second as we brake very gently in for the left-hander of turn 9. Struggling on the exit speed though. I'm really struggling with this Suzuki, to be honest with you. I can't seem to get it hooked up in the corners. Just doesn't seem to work. We try, you can get out of some corners like this one. Beautifully done. But then the straight lines, I just struggle. Can't seem to get the bike to move. It just wants to wheelie all the time, so you give a little bit less acceleration, and then it doesn't move at all. I think the problem is I've just played so much of Ride 4 that I'm still relatively rusty on MotoGP 20, because compared to MotoGP 20, although I've been doing this Classic Championship, the Classic bikes are way harder to use than the Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP bikes, absolutely, of course. I think everybody knows that already. But compared it to Ride 4's silky smooth handling compared to this bulky beast, it's night and day, let me tell you. It is really night and day. And of course, the one thing I really struggle with is the tuck-in button. I can't believe how good the tuck-in button is on Ride 4. I feel so much more comfortable at home when I have the tuck-in button opposed to just pushing forwards and backwards on the analog stick. Because it was never explained in MotoGP 20 very well. Oh, I got lost a place to... Oh, contact made there with Kaczynski as we were talking about everything and nothing. But what I was trying to say is the difference on MotoGP 20 is that for some reason there is no tuck-in. You push forward and then backwards in analog stick, or you leave it either in the middle, just neutral, and that is also a tuck-in on the straights. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. As we now turn it right for turn 4. 4th place finish is going to be the best we've got here today, guys, and I'm not too mad at that. Quick look to our left to make sure Kaczynski's not anywhere near us. It's a bit of a shame for Kaczynski, actually. I think he really deserved the podium today, but just didn't quite have it. As Crivier started behind us and will finish ahead of us. A little bit peeved off with that one. Hopefully Piaget can beat him, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. A little bit slidey there into turn 7 on the exit of turn 8. Look for the rumble strip, but don't necessarily go on it. I don't know if you noticed on the previous lap or the lap before, we were looking a bit bumpy on there, so be careful. Less than 1% of fuel left, or a lap of fuel should I say. So we do need to be careful on the fuel front. Traction control at 2, anti-wheelie at 4, engine brake at 3. Not really found a optimal setup here for the bike. Oh, as Kaczynski makes a move over the inside, we have to fight back here or in the next corner potentially. We need as many points as possible. Beautiful move around the outside for the Kevin Schwantz. Kaczynski put a... I tell you what, Piaget's almost on Crivier there. As Kaczynski's back up in the inside. We need to get into the slipstream here. We need to get it. We need to get it right. Brilliant. Kevin Schwantz. Good acceleration there, and it wasn't the best, but it was good because John Kaczynski made a bit of a hash out of the exit there. Rainey's there as well, Lawson's there. We don't want to... Oh, we lost the position. let him run it wide a little bit, cut his nose off in the corner if we have to. Jeremy McWilliams wins on board the Aprilia, a maiden victory for him. Kevin Schwantz will finish in 4th. I think Piaget-Crivier was 2nd and 3rd. So your final results are in. Jeremy McWilliams wins on board the Aprilia, and fantastic news for us. Max Piaget did indeed get ahead of Alex Crivier for his first podium of the season. So Crivier did not take that many points away from Kevin Schwantz. Kevin Schwantz had a bit of a rescue job on his hand, and he seemed to deliver. So a brief look at the championship standings. Kevin Schwantz still leads, but by the minuscule of leads. 2 points in this championship separate the two men. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And upon that note guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.